Post-colonialism, it's a mouthful, isn't it? And no, it's not some quirky indie band from Portland. Post-colonialism is a way of looking at the world, a lens through which we can understand the lasting effects of colonialism. Think of it like this. Imagine a giant hand rearranging a puzzle. Even after the hand is gone, the pieces are forever changed, their position shifted. That's colonialism. Post-colonialism examines those shifts, those lingering echoes of power imbalances and cultural clashes. It acknowledges that while the sun may have set on the British Empire, its shadows linger. We see it in the language we speak, the institutions we inhabit, the very fabric of our societies. It's about recognizing the impact of the past on the present, acknowledging the stories that haven't been told, and understanding how those silences continue to shape our world. Ah, Canada, land of maple syrup, hockey, and a complicated colonial history? You bet. Canada wasn't built on peace, love, and politeness. It was founded on the displacement and dispossession of indigenous peoples. For centuries, European powers, primarily the British and French, viewed this land as theirs for the taking. They imposed their laws, their languages, their very way of life on the people who were already here. Treaties were signed, often under duress, and land was stolen. Indigenous children were ripped from their families and forced into residential schools, stripped of their languages and cultures. It's a dark chapter in Canadian history, one that continues to cast a long shadow. You might be thinking, okay, but that was ages ago, why does it matter now? Well folks, colonialism isn't just a dusty history lesson, its legacy lives on in the systemic inequalities that persist today. Indigenous communities continue to face disproportionate rates of poverty, incarceration, and health issues. They struggle for control over their lands and resources, their voices often drowned out by the roar of the majority. And it's not just about indigenous peoples. Post-colonialism helps us understand the experiences of immigrant communities, the challenges of integration, and the persistence of racism and discrimination. It's about recognizing that the past is never truly past, that it continues to shape our present in profound ways. Section 4. Indigenous Rights, a case in point. Let's talk about indigenous rights, shall we? This isn't just about land claims or fishing rights, though those are undeniably important. It's about self-determination, about indigenous communities having the right to govern themselves, to protect their cultures, and to thrive on their own terms. It's about righting the wrongs of the past, about acknowledging the treaties that were broken and the promises that were never kept. It's about listening to indigenous voices, amplifying their stories, and working together to create a more just and equitable future. Because let's be honest, Canada can't truly call itself a just society until indigenous peoples are treated with the respect and dignity they deserve. Section 5. Multiculturalism, the Canadian Mosaic. Canada prides itself on being a multicultural mosaic, a place where people from all over the world come together. And while there's truth to that, post-colonialism reminds us that this mosaic wasn't always so harmonious. The legacy of colonialism continues to shape immigration policies, economic opportunities, and social relations. We see it in the struggles of newcomers to have their credentials recognized, the challenges of integrating into a new culture while preserving their own, and the subtle and not so subtle forms of discrimination that persist. Post-colonialism encourages us to look beyond the surface, to examine the power dynamics that underpin our multicultural society. It's about ensuring that multiculturalism doesn't just mean tolerance, but genuine inclusivity and equity. Section 6. Understanding the narrative. So why does any of this matter? Why should we care about post-colonialism? Because, dear viewers, it's about understanding the narratives that shape our world. It's about recognizing the ongoing impact of colonialism on all of us, whether we're descendants of colonizers or the colonized. It's about acknowledging the injustices of the past and working towards a more just and equitable future. Because until we understand where we've been, we can't possibly know where we're going, and frankly, we can do better, we must do better, because a nation's true strength lies not in erasing its past, but in confronting it head-on and learning from it. That's the power of post-colonialism. It's not about dwelling in the past, but about using it to build a better future. And that's a story worth telling.